So based on what I saw there, I decided to go to the youngest cell that I could ethically get, which is from a placenta.
Right.
So I take a C-section placenta, one. I've had one placenta in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
That's what's different. So I take this one placenta, I test it for everything you can think of, Epstein-Barr virus, Zika, things that I don't have to test according to the government. Of course, HIV and all those types of things. And then I grow the cells out of that. And so I could use one placenta for 10 years. I grow the cells, and I basically, if the cells are the olives, I collect the olive oil. So it's
that liquid you were talking about.
It's that liquid. It's a stem cell
face.
extract,
Okay.
basically.
Right.
And then I filter it, sterile filter it, test it, and then I release it after it's tested. So basically you have stem cell juice in a bottle that is purified.
Wow.
Purified stem cell juice in a bottle.
Stem cell juice. And so
I have a question real quick, because I had a patient ask me this just yesterday. If you're only using one placenta, or you've only used one placenta for the past 3 years, how are you able to get that many cells from it?
Right, so we haven't seen the placenta in years, right? Placenta's gone. It's not like we have this piece of tissue in the refrigerator.
Right.
There are billions and billions of cells in that placenta.
Okay.
So you get the cells out of the placenta, you grow them a little bit, and when they grow, every time they expand, there's 2 of them. So by the time you get to 2 passages, you end up with lots and lots of cells that you can then freeze down and have a working bank.
Okay.
And it's that working bank that is so important, because that's how you get FDA approval. You have to have something that is repeatable, something that's not going to change every time it comes through the door.
Okay.
So when you have multiple donor tissue products, you have this issue that it could have Ebola in it. We don't test for Ebola, but it could.
Yeah.
So in this fashion, and we've treated probably 25,000 people by now, nobody's gotten Ebola, so we're pretty sure it doesn't have Ebola.
Right.
But it's easy when you go to a company like ViraCore. They have a list of tests that they can do, and I just order them all. So every viral test that they have. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So you have these cells, and the way that the bank grows is these cells basically multiply.
That's correct.
They clone themselves.
Right.
In biology class, what's the name for that?
Expansion.
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 Okay, got it. Cool. So you have these cells; they're constantly
Expanding,
cloning themselves, and that's how you know that this process is going to be the same every time, because it's literally the same cells just cloning
It's the same.
themselves.
Yeah, you could also call it passaging, but that's how we confirm that from lot to lot we're going to have the same product, because it came from the same cells, it came from the same donor.
Right. Okay.
Because every donor is going to have a different efficacy.
Right.
But our dosage is based on this one donor, and we know what that is because we've treated so many people. So, we know that in a person of X weight, we use this many vials. In this weight, we need to use more vials. So the larger the person, the more vials you have to use. But you wouldn't want to use too much, because it's a powerful product.